This is NBS Live at 9. Once again, my name is Mebo Twegumiezake.
My name is Solomon Seranja. Welcome to the bulletin tonight. So we start off with Uganda maintaining second last position in the Corruption Perception Index 2018, finishing behind Rwanda, Tanzania and Kenya in the East African region.
Rwanda remains in top position in the East African region and is 55th globally out of the 180 countries.
Well, a report released today by Transparency International has pointed fingers at the recent multiple corruption scandals that, according to them, is responsible for the country's poor performance.
Here's more.
In the just released Corruption Index of 180 countries and territories across the globe on their perceived levels of public sector corruption, Uganda has remained at the position 151, trailing behind Rwanda, Tanzania and Kenya. Transparency International attributes Uganda's poor performance to the alleged bribery of legislators during the just concluded constitution amendment debate and the trending refugee graft scam.
Uganda has maintained a poor score in the Global Corruption Perception Index 2018. On the scale of 0 to 100, Uganda scored 26. That's 26%. And how it's graded is from 0 to 100, 0 being the most corrupt, 100 being the least corrupt.
What is the spirit behind the release of some of that money? For example, I'll give an example of the money that was given to our honorable members of parliament to go and make consultations on the project of removal of the age limit for the office of the president. There is the issue of the handshake, the 6 billion which was also given out. I mean, the money could be processed perhaps in a proper manner, could have received maybe proper permission, be released, but the spirit behind this money is for us what we keep questioning.
The report further highlights that the road construction in the country was highly inflated at the expense of donor funds, which influences the country's performance.
Between 2009 and 2016, UNRWA received over 9 trillion shillings to construct over 5,000 kilometers of road. But only 1,500 kilometers of road were delivered, and at a cost of about 5 trillion. The question is, where did the 4 trillion go?
Transparency International says countries that registered poor performance have common characters of restricted press freedom and controlled operation of civil society organizations that are likely to play the whistleblower role. But government has rubbished the findings, describing them as lies.
They want to appear to be relevant so that they can attract donor funding, because to whom does Transparency International account? Who knows how much their budget, its budget is, and its operation, how they employ people, and so on and so forth. I would want to see the evidence in the Transparency International survey and report where official payment to members of parliament across the board, because all members of parliament were paid by the Parliamentary Commission. Why would that be a bribe?
Transparency International believes that Uganda's poor performance in Corruption Perception Index is probably due to non-performing government anti-corruption agencies, something that government has denied. Richard Olwayne, NBS, Live at 9.
Well, many thanks, Richard Olwayne. Now we are joined tonight in studio by Julius Kapwepo, who is the Director of Programs, joining us for Uganda Debt Network. Now, Julius, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We start off with, as a researcher, I know I don't take reports on surface value. I want to understand the methodology that was used to arrive to this. I know it's a perception index, but I think it is important for us to question the methodology before we question the results, Julius.
Well, as you correctly observe, this is a perception index by the citizens of the respective countries, in our particular case in Uganda, through their experiences, because perceptions also are shaped by the experiences that people live through, by what they encounter in their interaction with government institutions, officials, and generally the manner in which different services are delivered. And therefore, in respect to methodology, the perception methodologies, including sampling and different categories of people, to share their thinking through experience. The thinking is shaped by experience, is precisely what constituted the methodology. And of course also coupled with literature review on a number of literature sources of information, including government documentation like reports by Parliament, as well as the Auditor General, the Inspectorate of Government, and Human Rights Commission.
But a perception index can as well have a very negative implication on a country like Uganda. There's so much going on with government institutions that is so negative, which I believe Uganda doesn't need right now. So what would you say about that, especially in relation to those implications?
As you clearly state, it is a perception index. Our wish as civil society actors, as government generally, as citizens of Uganda, our wish would precisely be that we see a reversal in these kinds of attitude amongst the citizens. But that is going to come on the basis of the changes that we are able to see in respect to service delivery, in respect to citizens' interaction with government institutions. And precisely, if we get that better level, then we'll be able to. I'll just give you a quick example. Walking through 1962, when we got independence to date, you remember clearly, like government is in July 1986, to be exact, established the Inspectorate of Government, which has, in our view, also done progressively well. But look at the recent report, where out of about 25,000 civil servants that were required to declare their wealth before the Inspectorate of Government, about 22,000 of those are under suspicion, are ideally to be investigated, of the 25,000. So does that kind of commensurate with the people's perceptions? This perception, in any case, is also shaped by some members of government, some of the government officials, as well as the Mwananchi. So don't just think that it is a one-way, they're like the rights holders against the government. No, no.
And certainly, Julius, this makes us really look bad, because when you look at the same report, Rwanda has been ranked highly, about, I think, 48th across the globe, which makes it, one of the less corrupt countries. And therefore, it could have an impact on the investment climate, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, it does. It means, therefore, in terms of like the good work we have so far seen through improved registration, if you took just the case of Uganda Registration Bureau jointly with Uganda Revenue Authority and KCCA and a number of municipalities across Uganda, that kind of formalization of business and the kiosks around, where if you want to register business, in a day you can have that completed, away from what the picture has been some years back. If we continue on that trajectory of improving our situation, and also we need to focus more on grand corruption. While you have bureaucratic corruption, says where someone delays your passport forms through, or what to interact with on the roads when you meet police at the 10,000. It is grand corruption that mainly is declining our ranking as a country. Therefore, we need to put effort in challenging cases of grand corruption, massive stealing of public resources. Then we can reverse and improve our investment climate, create jobs, and be able to advance our economy as a nation.
Well, thank you so much, Julius Kapwepwe. That is from Uganda Debt Network. He's the Director of Programs, giving us an analysis on the latest report by Transparent International that has placed Uganda in the 151st position, being most corrupt in East Africa. NBS Live at 9.